Alright, so a lot of people have been wondering, are we getting live events for some of these huge map changes in Fortnite Season OG? For example, right now, we are currently in Chapter 1, Season 5. So Season 5 is when worlds collided, and that's right after the rocket launch, and we had Drift and the Durburger head and a lot of other things brought into the map from real life, which was kind of cool. Now remember, in Season 5, that was when we first saw Kevin the Cube. And the buildup of Kevin the Cube led us right into Season 6. But there was a lot of mini events that transpired between Season 5 and Season 6. So everyone just automatically assumed that we would get all these little mini live events just in a revised format, I guess. So we know, according to the official blog post, that 3 days from now, November 9th, we're going to have the Season 6 hotfix. So that's after all the Kevin the Cube events and then the Floating Loot Island arises. But if you go into a game right now, there's no sign of Kevin the Cube anywhere. So does that mean we're not having little mini live events throughout this season? Unfortunately, that looks to be the case. So a data miner and leaker by the name of Pony, they said this: the cube spawning and mini events won't be happening again in this season. And then the data miner and leaker DJ Lorenzo said this: the cube is not going to spawn like Chapter 1, Season 5, since it's extremely bugged and makes your screen shaking. Then he says it will appear with the Floating Loot Lake Island the next week with the Season 6 theme. So for everyone that was super excited for these events to be transpiring in real time like they did back then, it sounds like it's not going to happen. You can see this clip, again posted by DJ, where it's all bugged out beyond belief. Now it is in the files, but for whatever reason, it's not going to happen. Maybe because it's glitched, as you can see, or maybe they just decided to scrap it and it was too much work. We don't know, but it sounds like it won't be occurring. Now again, the official blog post outlined all the dates that we can expect the map to change. So this November 9th, 3 days from today, we're getting the Season 6 Darkness Rises in Loot Lake map change. And that of course changes the entire loot pool as well. And then on November 16th, we're getting the Season 7 and 8 combined. So there were a lot of things that went down in Season 7 as well as Season 8. But again, it sounds like we're not going to get any of those in-game mini events whatsoever. So this comes from the Egyptian leaker on Twitter, another data miner and leaker. He says, here's a look at what's left of Polar Peak from an upcoming map phase. There's no sign of the Devourer or the Prisoner, which probably means that we evaded the danger somehow. So like I said, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have these mini events. Remember all the buildup and the hype for the Prisoner or the Devourer? It was crazy. But as you can see in this clip right here, it's definitely not noticeable when the map changes. So it's great that we have all these really quick turnaround for map changes, but for those anticipating more in the mini events, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Now, unfortunately, Season 8 seems to be a bit disappointing. Remember, they're combining the Season 7 and Season 8 maps into one, which again is on November 16th. So according to Andre, the data miner and leaker, he says these are the only Season 8 related map changes, and he posted 4 pictures. Let's take a look. So the first is a pirate base. If you remember those from Season 8, those were kind of cool with the cannons all over. Cannons will be returning, by the way, as will planes. So we've got another cannon base. This looks like it's near Paradise Palms, so that's 2 bases. Here's a third cannon base. I'm not exactly sure where this is on the map. I can't tell based on this landscape. I bet some people could tell exactly where that is. And then here's the 4th one. This one's overlooking Pleasant Park near Haunted Hills. So that's it for Season 8. Out of all the map changes we had on Season 8, they're just bringing back 4 pirate bases, and that's that. Now, obviously, as I just showed, though, we get that big ice biome in the bottom left with Frosty Flights and Polar Peak and all that good stuff. Now this is where it gets a little confusing, because after reading all that, it sounds like we're not getting any mini live events. However, they also re-added the sinking animation in Loot Lake. And this is from the data miner and leaker Not Cray. So we know Kevin the Cube was added to the files. We know it was buggy, and likely he's not going to be in-game at all before the map change. But yet they added the sinking animation. So just in case you forgot, Kevin sinks into Loot Lake and it turns it into this ginormous bouncy lake. It's amazing. And then that's right before Season 6, and then the island comes up out of the ground, etc. So is it possible that maybe there will be a mini live event and we will be able to bounce on Loot Lake? If so, it would happen probably in 2 days, Because remember, the update is on the 9th of November, this Thursday. So it would happen a day before, so that'd be on Wednesday. Now, nobody confirmed that, but it is in the files, so I guess there's always a possibility. This is why I'm so confused. Almost every single data miner that has mentioned this said there's no mini live events, yet these things are still in the files. So Not Cray also posted the Loot Lake stages, and he posted 4 images here. So the first one is just normal Loot Lake, how it is right now. Stage 2 has the island floating above Loot Lake, and we know we're going to see that on the 9th of November. Stage 3 looks like the 0 point is emerging, and you can see Kevin the Cube attached to the island above. And then Stage 4 has the 0 point emerging up, and Kevin the Cube going towards it. And then here is Stage 5. This is actually a video posted by Not Cray. You can see the sparks from Kevin the Cube as it tries to interact with the 0 point there. So it's pretty confusing, I'm not gonna lie. Will we have any of these mini in-game events like the Bouncing on Loot Lake or Kevin the Cube or the Devourer or the Prisoner? Well, according to the data miners, no. But at the same time, some of these are in the files. So I guess we'll just wait and see, but it doesn't sound very promising. Now lastly, in regards to the time machine, this comes from the data miner and leaker FireMonkey. He says, as Fortnite progresses, the time machine from Chapter 4 will slowly make its way around the map. And then he posts all 4 phases. So right now, the time machine is located in Pleasant Park. You can see it on the map right now, Pleasant Park. On November 9th, remember that's the Season 6 update, you'll be able to find it at Loot Lake. You can see right here, it's near a campfire underneath this little umbrella. On November 16th, which is the Season 7 and 8 update, it's going to be at Dusty Divot. And that's when they started building the rocket, as you can see. It's going to be on the ground. And then on November 23rd, which is the Season X update, it's going to be at the Dusty Divot rocket. And in fact, it's attached to the rocket, which is kind of weird. Now, the real question is, how is it moving? And who's moving it? Or what is moving? I don't know if it's Agent Jones moving it around, or if it's just kind of teleporting around on its own. I'm really not sure. So it is kind of disappointing if we don't truly get these little mini live events, such as Kevin the Cube, the Prisoner, the Devourer, or things like that. But what we do know we're getting is the massive live event to bring us into Chapter 5. So at least there's still that. We might not get the old rehash of live events that we were expecting, but we will get a Big Bang, apparently that's what they're calling it, the Big Bang or a black hole event that leads us into Chapter 5. So at least that one's coming back. That was confirmed by the data miners and leakers, but there will be a countdown, and it's definitely going to be a massive live event, which we haven't had in forever. So even though a lot of this does sound disappointing and it's just going to be overall a hotfix and map updates with no in-game events, the big one is still going to happen at the end of Season OG. So there you go. I just wanted to talk about this because a lot of people were asking, will Kevin the Cube come back? Will the Volcano come back? Will the Devourer come back? It sounds like no. But at the same time, there's always a sliver of hope since they're in the files. We'll see. There you go. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A like is always appreciated. And don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator code, which is tabortime.